Bombardment on 16 December, 1914, two German warships bombarded Scarborough with over 700 shells, killing 18 people. They were the first civilians to be killed on British soil in World War I, and it led to a government poster appeal. Oliver's Mount opened in 1946 as England's only racetrack to use public roads. In the mid-1950s it also hosted Formula 3 car racing. As a motorcycle racing venue it has drawn crowds of up to 58,000. The Grand Hotel was opened in 1867 as Europe's largest and most luxurious. It was built using 6 million bricks and had a miniature railway in the basement to carry laundry. Several hundred sailing ships were built in Scarborough in the 1700s and 1800s, including over 200 by 6 generations of the Tyndall family. In June 1993, the Holbeck Hall Hotel was destroyed when 1 million tons of earth on which it stood slid into the sea. This was just one of hundreds of buildings lost as the East Coast cliffs erodes. Tunny fishing from 1930 to the 1950s, the wealthy, aristocrats and film stars, including Scarborough's own Oscar-winning actor Charles Laughton, visited Scarborough to fish for bluefin tuna. On Boxing Day, 1893, a fisherman and fireman football match was played. This was to raise funds each year for families of fishermen lost at sea. The Gristhorpe Man is a Bronze Age warrior chieftain, whose 4,000-year-old remains were found near Scarborough in 1834. Scarborough was a place that Anne Bronte loved to visit. Her first novel Agnes Grey is partly set in the town. Suffering from tuberculosis, she died in Scarborough on 28 May 1849, aged 29. The Titanic was built by Scarborough-born Edward Harland's company, Harland and Wolff. The sixth officer on her maiden voyage was another Scarboroughian, James Moody. In the 1970s, Scarborough FC were the first non-league football club to become 3 times winners of the Football Association Challenge Trophy. They were Conference League champions in 1987. Scarborough's name may come from Scartho's stronghold, after a Viking said to have landed here in the 960s AD, or it may simply mean the cliff stronghold. In 1253, King Henry III granted Scarborough a royal charter to hold an annual summer fair. It ran for 45 days and coincided with the arrival of the herring shoals. Lifeboat launched in 1801, 23 years before the RNLI was formed. Scarborough's lifeboat was one of the country's first. In 1880, the crew saved all 28 people in peril when the lifeboat was launched 5 times during a 24-hour period. In 1912, a secret wireless station was opened in Scarborough. During World War II it listened to German naval signals which were then decoded at Bletchley Park. Starcar near Scarborough is one of the world's most important archaeological sites, where rare deer antler headdresses were found dating back 11,000 years. Florence Balgarnie was born in Scarborough in 1856. Florence Balgarnie, a vicar's daughter, was the first woman elected to the Scarborough School Board at the age of 27. She became internationally famous as a campaigner for votes for women. The Romans built a signal station on the castle headland in about 370 AD as part of an early warning system against attacks from the sea. The first castle, probably wooden, was built in the 1130s. Cayley, born in Scarborough in 1778, Sir George Cayley designed the aerodynamic wing and streamlined fuselage of the modern aeroplane. He became known as the father of aviation. During World War II, over 3,000 buildings in Scarborough were damaged or destroyed in air raids. Nearly 100 enemy planes attacked the town on March 18, 1941. Around 175 million years ago, during the Jurassic period, dinosaurs roamed this area and footprint remains can be seen at the rotunda. This is a museum built in 1829 to a design suggested by William Smith. Scarborough's original open-air theatre opened in 1932 and had 7,000 tiered seats. It was unusual in having the stage on an island. It hosted lavish floodlit musicals and light operas. Cricket was first played at the North Marine Road Ground in 1863. 5 years later, Scarborough hosted the first international cricket team ever to tour the UK. When Scarborough's railway station was opened in 1845, it boosted the town's holiday trade and led to the building of many new hotels. In 1908, platform extensions were needed to cater for excursion trains. Each Shrove Tuesday, Scarborough schools close early, Foreshore Road is closed to traffic and people of all ages take part in skipping day. As part of this tradition, when fishermen sorted their ropes and nets. In 1645, during the English Civil War, the Roundheads sighted the largest cannon in England at St. Mary's Church to attack the Royalist-held castle. The 5-month siege ended when the Royalists surrendered. Building the marine drives started in 1897, but parts of the seawall and the road were extensively damaged by storms in 1904. The 35-year-old pleasure pier at this location was also damaged and was never repaired. Scarborough became Britain's first seaside resort after Mrs. Thomas and Farrar discovered the health-giving spa waters at South Bay Cliffs in the 1620s. Bathing machines were in use here by 1735, and the UK's first cliff lift.